poll reveals religious Americans are more likely to support political violence. In a disquieting insight into the state of American democracy, a new survey reveals that support for political violence is notably high among religious communities, especially among white evangelical Protestants. A startling 1/3 of this group supports the idea of political violence, markedly outpacing support in other religious cohorts. The survey, conducted by the Public Religion Research Institute and the Brookings Institution, underscores an escalating concern for the future of American democracy, with 75% of all Americans feeling that it's at risk. The religious angle is particularly concerning given that more than half of white evangelical Protestants also agree with the statement that God gave America to European Christians as a quote unquote promised land. This theological stance correlates with an increased willingness to support political violence to quote unquote save the country. MSNBC host Joy Reid noted, quote, people do not have confidence in democracy as a way to solve their fundamental concerns, highlighting a disturbing trend that religious beliefs are intersecting dangerously with democratic values.
Yeah, the poll shows exactly what we thought it would. I mean, if I had to guess, if you asked me what the poll would suggest, and I would have guessed exactly this, so I don't think anybody is surprised by the result of this poll, but yeah.
If you scroll down, you can see more breakdowns. So which one is, so here we can, exactly. No, go to figure 3. Yeah, exactly. Support for political violence in response to direction of the country by party and religious affiliation. And you can see that across the board, no matter what religious group or political group you fall into, it's risen. It's risen across the board for all groups. So it's not, exclusive to one group or another, which is itself concerning. But you can see that the highest rates are among Republicans and among white evangelical Protestants.
Okay. Is this showing us that 23% of Americans support political violence in general?
It's the percent that agree with the statement, quote, because things have gotten so far off track, true American patriots may have to resort to violence in order to save our country. It's the percentage of people that agree with that statement.
May have to resort to violence. Okay, that's 23%. That's pretty high. Because it's not talking about, because if violence, if they're talking about the government, the government is supposed to do violence. That's the whole point of having a government, right? Or else no laws would be able to, we wouldn't be able to enforce any laws without having a military and the police, which is, we try to monopolize violence in the hands of the military and the police so that we can reduce violence. But this is talking about just civilians, like true American patriots, like taking violence into their own hands. That's that's the whole point of having politics, is so that we could reduce violence and monopolize it into a group that represented under the control of a body that is elected by the people as a way to control everything. That's the whole point of having democracy, elections, politics, and everything. The whole art of politics, the whole science of politics is about not letting this happen. And having 23% of Americans not giving into that and thinking that it's okay for just average Americans to take part in violence as a way to save the country, 23% is very high. That is very high. I don't know if people understand.
Well, especially in consideration to what it used to be just 2 years ago. 2 years ago, the percentage of all Americans was 15%.
That is dangerous. That is really dangerous. Okay, look, Republicans are more.
I do want to say that agreeing with that statement is vastly different. Like, I don't believe that the amount of people that agreed with that statement is the amount of people that would actually go enact that statement.
Of course not.
Just to be clear.
Of course not. No, that is still very, when I said that it's extremely high, I did not. That's not what I thought. Just the fact that you are, I mean, think that's okay, you will support something like that. That is already very, very dangerous. 23% of Americans are basically in favor of something that threatens the very foundation of democracy. The whole point of having a political system.
Mm-hmm.
23% of Americans being in favor of that is absolutely dangerous. This is, I don't know how I could explain how dangerous this viewpoint
No, I
is.
completely agree. I think a lot of these people probably have the worldview that they feel this way because they think democracy is threatened.
Yeah.
Do
See,
you know what
and
I
also
mean?
look, yeah, I know, but they're wrong. But the point, this viewpoint threatens democracy more than anything else. And look, Republicans agree with it more. This is why I'm so scared of talking about how evil wokeism is, which it is. But the reaction to that, like when people are like, oh, woke go crazy, the we have to be careful about how we explain the dangers of some leftist narratives without feeding into people thinking this is the solution. I mean, the reason why Republicans believe in that 33%, like, look, their independent is 22%, Democrat is 13%, Republican is 33%. I assume that a lot of that 33% is because they think wokeism is destroying the country. So that makes the job of people like us very difficult. How do you explain how dangerous wokeism is without feeding into radicalism from the right?
Yeah, that's a problem. And this includes that in 2023, 23% of the religiously unaffiliated agreed with that statement, up from 12% 2 years prior.
Yeah, this is so difficult. I don't know. I mean, guys, you have to understand the United States is the power that is keeping the world together. Right? I'm not exaggerating here. Okay, the United States military and all its economic force is the reason why we have so much stability right now in the world. And that this foundation being threatened like this is dangerous to the entire planet. Yeah, secularity is saying that is a very hard line to walk. Yeah, I hope we're trying our best here, guys. We're trying our best here. I don't know what to do. Yeah. Okay. So we got a couple of. Oh, by the way, before I read the super chat, secular rarity saying, I don't know why YouTube chose animated fruit for super stickers, but I love it. Yeah, I like it too. I don't know why, but it's working. It's working. So Kenny gave us a super chat saying something wrong with the stream. It keeps breaking up for me. Very difficult to follow, so I'll watch it later. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. Yeah, guys, I think like if you're having that problem, just you're putting a force stop on YouTube and then opening it again has worked for a lot of people, because sometimes your app is like not doesn't work for some time. It has a lot of memory. I don't know, something else, but I heard like if you do a force stop on your app and then opening it again, that helps, right? But Kenny is still watching us, but from Twitch. So here's another solution. So guys, sometimes if you're having a problem with our show on the YouTube and it's buffering for too much for you, we're also live streaming on Twitch. You could switch, or sometimes if you're watching on Twitch and it's buffering for you, you could switch over to YouTube. So either way,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know
And
what's
also if you,
happening. A lot of people are like complaining about that, but it's completely fine for me here. And usually,
yeah, it's fine for
here
other
streaming
people.
is where I have the most difficulty.
Yeah, but that's why we're streaming in multiple places, so you can switch around and see which one is working the best for you. Yeah. If you're watching for Twitch from Twitch, leave a comment so we could use that as a reminder for people that we are also streaming on Twitch. Oh, somebody saying, Dark is saying, I restarted my PC and it did nothing. Do you know who makes the most amazing, gorgeous, and other adjectives that I can't use here on YouTube, blasphemous art ever? We do! And for some reason, we are giving it away for free. Download them now using the link in the description before we change our mind.